The Amazing Race does something, opens the eyes of millions of Americans, and also it almost brings the people. We have probably between 50 and 70 million viewers on a weekly basis around the world, because the show airs in over 100, I think up to 120 countries. So everybody can just see who Americans are. We almost bring people together. When we go to Bangladesh, which is this unbelievable country with a lot of wonderful people. But you know what? You think India is busy. You can multiply this by 10 when you go to Bangladesh, when you go to Dhaka. I mean, it's a whole different world. These are worlds we have never seen. And it gives the show a different dimension also for the viewers and for the people see worldwide how Americans react to these cultures. And I think it's the one show that goes around the world that says the world is not a bad place. We see nothing but bad stuff around the world. The news pounds you 24 hours a day that everybody is anti-American, everybody hates this and everybody hates that, and blowing up this and blowing up that. It's just a fraction of the truth. The truth is what you see on The Amazing Race. That's the truth. We can go anywhere we want to go in the world, and people are nice. You can see over and over again, people lose their money in Moscow on the street. Muscovites, they said, how much money you need? They give you money. I mean, it's almost unthinkable here. How generous people are, how kind people are. And I think to show that dimension, in addition to the challenges and all the stuff that comes along with it, and the character development and the storyline, but in addition to that, has that dimension that has a lot of humor, drama, and happiness.
I think it's changed other, people's views of Americans worldwide. Maybe in a positive light, maybe sometimes not, because sometimes, in the heat of the moment, these contestants can be in a taxi cab in China speaking to a Chinese taxi cab driver who speaks no English, saying, go faster, and this person is like, what are they saying, So, sometimes it's not the best light, but there are other really beautiful moments where I know that these contestants have gone back to these countries after the show is over, because they felt so passionate about it when they were there. And, for example, we had a couple that, with a husband and wife, he was in the Vietnam War, and we went to Vietnam that year. And he really was like, I don't know about how I feel about going there. He opens up his clue and it says, make your way to Hanoi, and he's just like, that's the last place on earth he would ever want to go. But when he went there, and he experienced it in a different way, and he sees that people are beautiful and friendly and, helping them, doing something if there's a challenge where they need something or need some help.
In a way, you feel America is more traumatized by the war in Vietnam than the Vietnamese. But
kind of opened his eyes to saying, you know what, I've been exposed now to a very different way of looking at this, and I'm so happy I went there. And they had a fantastic experience. And people who say, oh, I would never go someplace, or I don't want to go to Africa, I don't want to go to India, when they go there, it's a complete 180 degrees.
In Vietnam, for instance, we actually did go into the central prison where the pilots were imprisoned, etc., etc. We've gone to places like that. We've gone to Robben Island, where Mandela was incarcerated for 26 years. We've gone to the Door of No Return, where all the slaves were brought over to the Americas.
From Senegal.
From symbolic moments where all our presidents have gone. We've gone to Auschwitz and had people pay homage, so I think to bring this kind of dimension also to it is very, very important. And and generally people love Americans. When we go around the world, they're fascinated with Americans, and they don't always agree with our government's decisions. But in general, as an American, you can go anywhere, really.